In Valley Fog tonight, I'll have more on the rest of your work week coming up. 18 News at 5:30 starts now.
Live from your local news leader, this is 18 News at 5:30.
Here's what's happening right now at 5:30. Governor Andrew Cuomo addresses the vaping epidemic here in New York, his plan to action to protect the youth. And a posthumous award of honor to a trooper who lost his life serving others. How we continue to remember Trooper Nicholas Clark. Plus, a rock and roll legend and Hall of Famer has passed away. The world says goodbye to Rick Ocasek. Good evening. Thank you for joining us for 18 News at 5:30. I'm Alexis Bellamy. Governor Andrew Cuomo announced an emergency executive action to ban the sale of flavored e-cigarettes in the state of New York. He also announced that the state health commissioner would be making a recommendation this week to the state public health and health planning council. Our sister station in Albany has more.
Vaping is dangerous. In 4 years, the percentage of high school users who use e-cigarettes and vaping has increased 160%.
Governor Cuomo is banning e-cigarette flavors that are considered attractive to young people, such as bubblegum and cotton candy. Bill Sherman from the American Cancer Society doesn't think the state's plan covers all the bases because menthol flavoring is not included in the ban.
We think it can also be harmful because the message that's being sent to children and maybe even their parents is that, oh, well, mint or menthol is okay. No e-cigarette use for children is okay at all.
According to Sherman, 27% of high school and middle school children are using electronic cigarettes, and out of that number, 64% use mint and menthol. He's also concerned about a specific demographic of e-cig users.
Of African American kids who use e-cigarettes, over 70% of those kids use mint and menthol. And to exclude that is really unfair to those communities, and we really want the governor to really look at it from a holistic standpoint and really protect all of our kids.
He says while the American Cancer Society supports a flavor ban, it needs to be extended to all flavors. Both the American Heart Association and American Lung Association agree. The Lung Association's president releasing a statement saying while today's announcement was well-intentioned, it will drive our youth to use menthol-flavored products in even greater numbers. The governor acknowledged the controversy but cited that the health commissioner is not ready to ban menthol flavoring just yet.
The menthol flavor for the vaping helps menthol cigarette smokers. So at this point, Dr. Zucker's recommendation is he is not prepared to recommend banning menthol.
He said the Department of Health would continue studying the effects and that it could be added to the ban in the future.
The U.S. government released satellite images to show the damages after an attack on a Saudi Arabia oil facility over the weekend. The U.S. government said it's clear that Iran is responsible for the attack and that there's no evidence that the attack came from Houthi rebels in Yemen. The Iran-backed Houthi are fighting the Yemen government-claimed responsibility for the attack. A Saudi-led military coalition has been battling the Houthi in Yemen since 2015. The Saudi military said today the attack was carried out with Iranian weapons. The Saudi government also released stills of Saudi Energy Minister Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman visiting the oil facility. The late New York State Trooper Nicholas Clark has just been awarded a Certificate of Exceptional Valor from Governor Andrew Cuomo. Clark, who was shot and killed in the line of duty on July 2nd, 2018, was nominated for the New York State Police Officer of the Year Award. 3 members of the Syracuse Police Department, Lieutenant James Melania, Officer Victoria Lusardo, and Officer Travis Reinheimer were there and honored with the Police Officer of the Year Award for the apprehension of a gunman who shot at Lieutenant Melania on February 4th, 2018. Moving to Rochester now, where United Auto Workers walked off the factory floors for the first time in more than a decade. Workers at the Lexington Avenue plant in Rochester joined the strike, forming picket lines throughout the morning. They say GM is not bargaining in good faith. Talks with General Motors broke down Sunday, and their contract expired at midnight. Union negotiators and GM officials are talking now. This is the first national strike by the union since a 2-day walkout in 2007. Police in Buffalo are looking for help finding the parents or guardians of a 3-year-old boy who was found sleeping in a box on a Potomac Avenue porch. The homeowner stepped outside around 8 a.m. Monday morning and found the boy wrapped in a blanket. He was wearing only a pull-up diaper and was in a cardboard box she leaves out for cats. This week is Child Passenger Safety Week. The Governor's Traffic Safety Committee will host child safety seat events throughout the state. These events are meant to help parents ensure their children's restraint is properly installed and fitted correctly. Child Passenger Safety Week starts September 15th and lasts through the 21st. And related to child vehicle safety, in November of this year, a new law will take effect requiring all children under the age of 2 to be in a rear-facing car seat. Nexstar Media Group, the owner of WETM 18 News, announced Monday the Federal Communications Commission has granted approval for a proposed merger with Tribune Media. The FCC statement released Monday said the commission concluded the deal would provide several public interest benefits to viewers of current Tribune and Nexstar stations. In July, the Department of Justice cleared Nexstar's pending acquisition of Tribune Media, and the FCC approval represents the final required regulatory approval needed to close the transaction. More details will be available when Nexstar announces the close date for the sale, perhaps as early as this week. Rick Ocasek, lead singer of the new wave band The Cars, died Sunday in New York City at age 75. The NYPD got a call Sunday afternoon for an unconscious male at a townhouse. They found Ocasek, who was pronounced dead at the scene. There's no word yet on the cause of death. The Cars became hugely popular in the late 1970s and 80s. Their hits include My Best Friend's Girl and Drive. The group split up in the 1980s, but reunited for a new album in 2011. During the long break, Ocasek produced bands including Weezer and Bad Religion. Ocasek and the band were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last year. Coming up is Chicago, the next state to take a stance against the country's growing vaping epidemic. We'll tell you more when we return. Plus, our question of the day, how do you feel about the push to ban flavored e-cigarettes? We'll have some of your responses coming up after the break.
Decreasing clouds for us tonight, staying cool, but also with valley fog through the overnight. Looking forward to sunshine and comfortable temperatures as we go throughout the next few days. I'll have more on what else to expect in just a few minutes.
You're watching 18 News at 5:30.
It's time for your Daily J. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Here's today's category: Olympics. Now the clue. Organizers of this Japanese city's 2020 Summer Olympics tested artificial snow for possible use to keep visitors cool. Stay tuned for the correct response. It's time for your Daily J. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Here's today's category: Olympics. Now the clue. Organizers of this Japanese city's 2020 Summer Olympics tested artificial snow for possible use to keep visitors cool. The correct response: what is Tokyo? For more categories and clues, watch Jeopardy! Weeknights at 7 on WETM 18.
Like the state of New York, the city of Chicago is moving full steam ahead with a proposed ordinance that would ban all flavored e-cigarette or vaping pod products. This morning, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, along with Illinois Senator Dick Durbin, announced the engagement process and awareness campaign. The announcement comes on the heels of a major commitment by the Trump administration just last week, one that Senator Durbin says he hopes will take hold.
But my concern is if these cartridges can be tampered with and other things can be added to them, once we take the flavors off the market, the kids are going to start experimenting with other things to see how that works. And the bottom line is when you ingest or inhale this vapor into your lungs, it does great damage to the lung tissue to the point where some of these kids are dying. So I'm very fearful that if we don't take this seriously and quickly, we're going to see more complications emerge.
Senator Durbin says the process to put an FDA ban in place is about 30 days. This week, Chicago schools is sending letters home to parents to ensure their awareness of the growing problem of e-cigarettes and provide tips on talking with their children about the serious risk of vaping. That brings us to today's question of the day. How do you feel about the push to ban flavored e-cigarettes? Log on to our Facebook and Twitter pages and let us know what you think. Here are a few of your responses so far this evening. Sue starts with, alcohol has done far more damage to way more people, their families and innocent people. But by all means, let's stop flavored e-cigarettes that help people quit cigarette or cigar smoking. Andrew adds, what about cigarettes that kill 400,000 people per year? Cody chimes in with 85+% of profits for vape shops is flavored e-liquid. It will effectively wipe out the vaping industry in New York. People will be losing jobs, including myself. Kids are going to get their hands on this regardless. And Tim ends us off with, I believe they're seriously underestimating the impact on regular tobacco products and the huge loss of tax revenue that has taken place. Thank you for your responses, and there is still time to weigh in on today's question. Just go to our Facebook and Twitter pages. Still to come on 18 News at 5:30, would you be willing to take a pie in the face? One Hornell doctor was all in the name of research.
In a cool, cloudy start to the work week, some light rainfall with us earlier today, but looking forward to sunshine in the upcoming days. More on what else you can expect after the break. Welcome back. Some clouds along with some light rainfall to start us off for this work week. But we're starting to see those clouds break apart now over the city of Elmira. Decreasing clouds, and this is with our weather setup. Low pressure to our south that's taking this front along with it. That front giving us rainfall earlier today. But high pressure to our north, that's over the Great Lakes. That's building into our region, and that's leading to decreasing cloud cover. It's also going to be in control of our weather over the next few days. Now, though, we are on the dry side for us here in the Twin Tiers. Just some isolated rainfall, portions of western New York and PA. But we are drying out across the region, and that's with that high pressure building in, leading to clear skies tonight and light winds throughout the overnight hours. Also dry weather, which will continue throughout tonight into early tomorrow. Just some valley fog into early Tuesday morning, but still staying pretty quiet on our futurecast. High pressure stays in control through midweek, so this means plenty of sunshine with us. Also dry weather. We're staying dry Tuesday night into Wednesday. Still dry throughout the day Wednesday, and more sunshine is heading our way. Not ending there, more sunshine both Thursday as well as for Friday. High pressure still in control, and it lasts right up until about the weekend. Also, temperatures feeling pretty comfortable out there. Right now we are in the upper 60s to still low 70s across the Twin Tiers. 70 here in Elmira, along with Sayre, Towanda, and Troy. 68 degrees, Watkins Glen. 69 in Corning. 71 degrees now, Hornell and in Bath. Dew point temperatures, we can start to see that the drier air is working into the region from north to south. Into the upper 50s towards Watkins Glen, still low 60s for those in the northern tier. Drier air continues to work into the region through tonight, continuing through tomorrow, so feeling pretty comfortable humidity-wise. Winds now around the Twin Tiers, we are out of the east anywhere from about 0 to 8 miles per hour. Light winds tonight, limited to no cloud cover. That sets the stage for valley fog formation. Also radiational cooling. That means temperatures will drop quickly throughout the overnight. Staying pretty cool with temperatures tonight downtown Elmira. We're near that 42-degree mark. Tomorrow, though, close to average for highs as temperatures will reach into the low 70s. Plenty of sunshine throughout the afternoon. And keeping up with that sunshine through your work week. Also keeping up with dry weather, and highs will be into the 70s, getting closer to that 80-degree mark by the end of the work week. Staying dry through Friday and feeling pleasant as we start our weekend, getting closer to that 80-degree mark and starting to see that warming trend with overnight lows as well. Sun and clouds on Sunday, and as we start off fall, we have that chance for showers, but temperatures will be slightly above average for this time of the year.
Shelby, that is what I like to see. I like to see sun, sun, a little bit of clouds, sun. Not too thrilled about fall starting, though. I'm not too happy about that.
I'm excited. Look at us. We look like fall already.
We do look like fall.
You have fall on your mind.
I do. But speaking of fall, is your picture of the day any indicator that fall is around the corner?
We're starting to see a little more color change as we look around.
That's beautiful.
This one, we get to see a little more flowers in there. A nice scenic drive. JD sent this. She sent it to me on Friday. She was out for a nice drive. Overcast skies, but still beautiful views.
It is so nice. That doesn't look like fall, but still a beautiful picture nonetheless. So I'm so happy we got to see that. Thank you, Shelby. 18 News at 5:30 will be right back after the break.
You're watching 18 News at 5:30.
Maple City Physical Therapy in Hornell tried a new and creative way to raise money for Parkinson's disease. They held a pie-in-the-face fundraiser where one lucky employee, take a look at that, there he goes, took a pie into the face in the name of Parkinson's research.
We decided to do it because we're one of the only providers of LSVT Big, which is a Parkinson-specific program for patients with Parkinson's, and we want to be able to help that community more than with just our treatment.
Over $1,100 was raised, and all proceeds will be going to charity. September is National Baby Safety Month. Walmart is using the opportunity to collect old car seats starting Monday. Customers can trade in their car seat, trade the car seat their child has outgrown for a $30 Walmart gift card. The superstore is partnering with recycling businesses TerraCycle to help keep car seats out of landfills. There's a 2-car seat trade-in limit per household. You can go to our website, mytwintiers.com, for a list of participating locations. The event will go through September 30th. And 18 News will be right back after the break.
You're watching 18 News at 5:30.
Welcome back, Twin Tiers, and we're going to leave you with a little nugget if you're like me, you're going to love. Tonight, or today, is National Guacamole Day, and prices of avocados have fallen just in time. USA Today reports the average price of avocados has dropped to $116, down from $210 back in July. So it sounds like they're affordable again, Shelby.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you go to Chipotle and you, oh, perfect! When you go to Chipotle and you look up at the menu, it almost looks like guac is like, you know, an extra $3 or $4. But today is the day to just bypass all that, you know, forget the budget, get something, look at that, looks delicious.
Budgets don't count on holidays.
Budgets don't count on holidays like National Guacamole Day, which is today. So make some guacamole toast. I know that's a good healthy thing, right? And enjoy National Guacamole Day. And that does it for our 18 News at 5:30. Stick around. 18 News at 6 is coming up next.